So on the this current affairs is not going to be like conventional current affair classes. We are not going to speak about those things happened in last few days. We will take up a topic, we will discuss it, talk about. That's how the current affairs session as such namesake the current affairs session. But rather here what we are trying to do is we will take up certain topics and we will discuss it from top to bottom. So here it's not a lecture. Idea of this class is to discuss. Online இருக்கிறவங்க கேக்குதா? கேக்குங்க கிளியரா அவங்க பதில் சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. நீ என்னடா கேக்குறது நான் என்னடா பதில் சொல்றேன்? So today's first topic would be about the Institute for Economic and Peace. So this topic becomes very important because they give us certain reports which is very important for from the mains aspect as well as in the prelims aspect. But today we will be discussing how it becomes important from the aspects of mains. Because as we have already discussed, we know that when it comes to the matter of mains, an introduction has to be given. And also you have to know, that you should give a conclusion, and data plays a major role in getting you the marks. So in that particular circumstances, we need to read certain reports in detail. So today we will be studying about few reports which has been given by IEP, that's Institute of Economic and Peace. It's an Australian based institution, it's an NGO which provides us with international level reports on certain things. So keeping that in mind, let's solve this question. We will be solving all the possible questions of that particular topic first, and then we will get into the topic so that you will be remembering the topic for a longer period of time. That's what the idea is. So try to answer these questions. What could be the answer? Anyone have any idea about Institute for Economics and Peace? Any idea? Have you ever came across this particular institution? What are the reports or indexes they give? Tell me, what is an index? We have a wholesale price index. We have a consumer price index. Does that index have something, some different meaning, or is it something like a normal number, or is it like something related to percentages, that kind of thing? Or index has some different meaning? What does index means?
It's a numerical representation of based on certain reports.
Okay, so index is something which will have the values of items which will be different in weightages. So we will then the number would be indexed. For example, if you take consumer price index, food will have a different share of weightage when compared to fuel. So we are what we are doing is we are not taking all the numbers linearly. We will give different weightages to different articles. That's why it is called as an index. Index means wherever you see the word index, that means what they are going to do is they are going to give different weightages to. For example, your cutoff in your 12th standard, you gave more weightage to your maths, and physics and chemistry will have lesser weightage. So here likewise we will be giving different numbers or different weightages to different items. That's why it's called as an index. So this is what you have to understand. So what are the global terrorism index, economic, ecological threat in report, safety perception index, global peace index? All these 4 indexes and reports are given by India Institute for Economics and Peace. சரிங்களா answer correct. All 4 தான் இதோட answer. So we will be discussing about each and every indexes in detail. Are we clear? So now we will be discussing about the global peace index, which have come recently, which has been released recently by global peace and the International Economics and Peace Institute for Economic and Peace. So in that, this particular edition is in 17th edition. So what they would do is they will take up 163 independent countries, and what they would do is they will give you a number which will tell us how peaceful the country is. So in order to know how peaceful the country is, they will be taking up certain indicators and they will be weighting it as per the country's incidents. What are the incidents happen in the country in a particular year? They will be taking up those numbers, and what they would do is they will give each country a ranking. So the whole idea of this particular index is to give us an idea about how peaceful a country is.
நியாயமா பார்த்தா நம்ம தான் ரொம்ப பீஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கணும் அதுல. ஏன்னா நம்ம தான் எவனையும் அட்டாக் பண்றது இல்ல.
இல்ல நம்மளதான் வரவங்க போறவங்க அடிச்சுட்டு தர போறாங்க. வாட்ஸ் a big deal? சோ அப்படி இருக்கும்போது இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய டீடைல்ஸ் எல்லாம் பாத்துக்கங்க. So the important is the global peace index is given by Institute of Economic and Peace. We have seen it already. This is one point which is very important. And second is the spot in India 126, which means we have climbed to 2 spots. Previously we were at 128. Now we have come to 126th position. So how are you going to use this data? So that's the question I wanted to ask. These data can be used in your mains answer. You may ask me a question, sir, whether this kind of questions will come in prelims. Possibility is very less, but still you can use this data in your mains answer. Right? You may say some question related to peace comes. You can give your introduction based on this particular data. So I would like you to take up these data and note it down and go through again and again. So these data will be helping you out very much in your mains exam. That's the idea here. So Iceland would be the most peaceful country. This information may not be very important. Afghanistan remains least peaceful. This information is very important for us, because whenever it comes to the matter of the issues with Afghanistan is our neighbor. So Afghanistan is a neighbor. So given that we share boundary with Afghanistan, correct or tappa? Do we share boundary with Afghanistan? Lock kar de 100% sure. எப்படி சொல்றோம்னா we have to tell it.
We don't share. Actually, we don't share. Maps, if we look, geography, share.
People in online, you are also considered to be the student of Chinmaya Academy. So you can also answer. Rudrakshi.
We don't share a border with Afghanistan. No.
Okay. Mandagi நம்ம students ஆங்களா? Is there anyone who have a problem with Tamil? Can the class be in bilingual or it should be in only in English? Rudrashi knows Tamil very well.
Yes, sir, I can understand.
So we'll go bilingual.
Okay, sir.
So in our syllabus, we have the relationship with our neighbors in international relationship. So this point can be used whenever you're writing some answers regarding Afghanistan. So this data can be used whenever you write any points you wanted to make about Afghanistan. Note பண்ணிக்கங்க, written notes ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஒரு தனி நோட் போடுங்க கரண்ட் அஃபேர்ஸ்க்கு போட்டு நான் கொடுக்குற எல்லா டாபிக்கும் எழுதி அதை வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா நோட்ஸ் எடுத்து வச்சுக்கோங்க. This notes is going to help you out in the future. Before preliminary examination, you will have a note which will contain around 300 topics, which is going to be very helpful for you. Don't miss the classes. Sometimes the classes may go a bit boring because all we are going to discuss is data. So sometimes the class may come after a long day of 2 consecutive sessions. So for some people have attended 2 consecutive sessions and they have come and sit in this class. So all these things can happen, but this class is very important because this notes is going to help you out in a very big way. Next question, next slide. It measures the status. So how is it measuring how is it actually giving the ranking based on what indicators? And these are the 3 indicators: the level of societal safety and security, the extent of ongoing domestic and international conflict, and degree of militarization. So country with high degree of militarization will be getting lesser point. Domestic and international conflict, for example, let's say if you take up Ukraine would have been a comparatively peaceful country before. Now it would have become more and less peaceful. So level of societal safety and security, how much dacoity you have, how much jadi kalavaram you have, how much mother kalavaram you have. Yes.
ஏன்னா எங்க பாரு டெய்லியே நியூஸ்ல 10 நியூஸ் வந்து திருடு இல்ல செயின் ஸ்னாச்சிங் தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்துட்டே இருக்கு.
நீங்க எதாவது பண்ணுங்க கிருஷ்ணா, நம்மளாம் கலெக்டர் ஆனாதான் அதெல்லாம் குறைக்க முடியும். நல்லா படிங்க. காலை வச்சு திருநாளா என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? நீங்க தான் வருங்கால சந்ததியர்கள். நீங்க எல்லாம் சேர்ந்துதான் திருத்தணும் நாட்டை. The future India is in your hand. You only have to do something. So அப்படி இருக்கும்போது இதெல்லாம் ரீசெண்டா கூட ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் போயிட்டு இருக்குல்ல, some caste issues is going on. I don't know the complete story. It's coming in, it's popping up in social media. என்ன? ஆமா, I don't know the complete story. Lynching. So these and all will be part of your global peace index. It's not only terrorism. So that's one thing which you should not put it in your mind. It's all about local issues also. எழுதிட்டீங்களா? See, if I will go slow, take notes, have these notes very solid, consolidated notes வைங்க. மெதுவா கூட போலாம். எழுதி முடிச்சுட்டு ஓகேன்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா கூட நெக்ஸ்ட் இதுக்கு போய்க்கலாம். முடிச்சிங்களா? போலாமா? வீட்டுக்கு போலாமா? And this is not very important, but we should know how what the Institute of Economic and Peace is. It's a global think tank, headquarters in Sydney, Australia. Question வரவே வராது. என்ன காரணத்தை கொண்டும் ஹெட்குவார்டர்ஸ் எதுன்னு கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. என்ன காரணத்தை கொண்டும் இந்த பர்டிகுலர் விஷயத்தை பத்தி கேள்வி வராது. பட் ஸ்டில் இவங்க ரிப்போர்ட் கொடுக்குற காரணத்துக்குனால இவங்களை பத்தி நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுதான் ஆகணும். So இவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, they are understanding cultural, economic, political factors and drive peacefulness. So they also give us certain recommendation in order to drive peacefulness. Your question வருதுன்னு வெச்சுக்கங்களா, suggest a certain measure to make India a more peaceful country, more stable country. என்ன மெஷர்ஸ் கொடுப்பீங்க? நான் எதுக்கு சார் கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்றீங்களா? Suggest some measures in order to make India more peaceful country அப்படின்னு ஒரு கொஸ்டின் வருதுன்னா என்னென்ன மெஷர்ஸ் கொடுப்பீங்க? இல்ல நீங்க போய் இன்டர்வியூல உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க, உங்க ஊர்ல வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு கலவரம் நடந்திருக்கு, நான் கேட்கறேன், if I'm asking you a question, what measures would you suggest so that India would become more peaceful? There would be a smooth transition of businesses. அப்படின்னு சொன்னா what are the points would you give? What are the inputs you might give? Yes.
Teachers and cost identity from workplace. Let it be a personal, like France has a block of secularism that you're taking complete your private concept. So similarly, if secularism common on the
Okay,
concept.
in your right hands, you should not say the reason. You also have to, you have to tell the reason, and you have to mention how you're going to do it. So in this particular aspect, how you're gonna separate the religion and the politics.
Yes, let's take France for example, their secularism is completely church is away from the state. We have we still access to a certain.
That will work out only in a monotheist kind of religious setup. Yeah, we have multi-faith religious setup, right?
Yeah, but we can make religion completely a personal.
Okay, accepted. We have to make, for that, we need to spread more awareness. We have to bring changes in our education system from the childhood itself, from the root itself, the religion has to be taken up. So that's what I was expecting. How we have to spread awareness, we have to bring change in our education system.
Sir, but அங்கேயும் வந்து எனக்கு ஒரு அப்ஜெக்ஷனபிள் இது இருக்கு, கொஸ்டின் இருக்கு. See, நம்ம ஹிஸ்டரியையே நம்ம பார்த்தா மோஸ்ட்லி அவர் ஹிஸ்டரியில வந்து இட் இஸ் மோர் ரிலீஜியன் பேஸ்ட் தான். நீங்க வந்து பாக்குறதுனால எப்படி நீங்க எனிவேஸ் நீங்க வந்து
ரிலீஜியன்லாம் மாத்த சொல்ல, ஹிஸ்டரிலாம் மாத்த சொல்ல. காலேஜ்ல நீங்க அவேர்னஸ் கொடுங்க, ஸ்கூல்ல அவேர்னஸ் கொடுங்க. This is not what you are. I mean, awareness. You have to tell in the colleges, schools that.
Sir, but at one point of time,
We will discuss it at the end of this again because we are lagging again. So I have more agenda. So we will discuss it separately after the class. Where I am, sir.
The reservation system, if we remove reservation system automatically, then looking at me.
First one the class at the moment. I will tell you what. That's the complaint. I'll tell you separately somewhere else. You cannot do it.
Improving the social and economic conditions.
Very. That's one thing which you have to do. What you have to do is all this conflict comes because people are poor. And when you take away the poverty, people will have their own work to do. They will not have time to concentrate on these kind of things. Where?
sir, exposing even the poor to education.
Poor are exposed to education already. I don't think poor, just because they are poor, they are not exposed. See, this brainstorming we need to do. Then only we can write answers to the question. It's not only about the data. It's about how you are gonna approach a question, how you are going. End of the day, that's what we are going.
So increasing value-based education.
Value-based education has to be improved. Moral education has to be even more prominent. India was a mechanized system of education, where you will be given more weightages to the technical aspects, physics, chemistry, maths. But moral education ஒரு period இருக்கும், அதுவும் வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, மேத்ஸ் டீச்சரோ அல்லது ஹிஸ்டரி டீச்சரோ இருக்கும். moral education இருக்கு. moral ethics டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு. அதாவது ethics அப்படியே கேவலமா very low marks in ethics is being scored by calculation. That's because we don't concentrate on ethics anymore. We are highly concentrated towards technical aspects of outer engineering, no engineering. So this is one of the points which can actually add up so that India can be made as a peaceful country. Soft power something increase. Next door question. For example, IS or Rocket over here. Do you think that will bring peace to India? Is there any link between ISRO launching Chandrayaan and India, the society being peaceful? Is there any?
I think yes, sir, because when we attain success in a certain mission, we are advancing also to the field of science and technologies. And in the long run, there will be opportunities for more employment and education.
That's one thing. That's all.
And also, thing is,
Right now, our defense defense technologies are being shared with other countries. So the relation with other countries that
Sorry, but who's pride to the religions?
So how does pride become brings peace?
encourages the nationality. So generally we all find the Indian and Malayali the difference, but then so these are something we're all Indian.
You both are making the same point. You are to the point. We are one something I guess so Chandrayaan is not in our Indians. So when it's so when the achievement is bigger, the unity comes automatically. We Indian அப்படிங்கிற கான்செப்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும்ல, நீங்க அந்த படம் வந்துருக்கீங்களா 1983
Yes, sir.
1983 மூவி பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? That's what cricket connective factors for அந்த இந்து முஸ்லீம் விளையாட்டு பண்ணுவோம். ஏன்னா அந்த கிரிக்கெட் வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவோம்னா அந்த டிசைட் நம்ம வந்து இந்து முஸ்லீம் இந்தியன்ஸ் அப்படின்னு அப்படி இருக்கும்போது லாட் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ் விச் ஹஸ் டு பி லிங்க்டு. உங்க ஆன்சர் யூனிக்கா இருக்கணும்னு இருக்குது. Very good point. So you also have to use all these data. People in online, நான் பேசுனதா கேட்டுச்சா? Is I audible actually?
Oh, yes, sir.
நான் இவ்வளவு நேரம் பேசுனது கேட்டுச்சா? So other report published by IEPs, Global Terrorism Index, Ecological Threat Report, Safety Perception Index. Safety Perception Index is an index where there would be a survey kind of thing. This is not a very important report for us. It's not relevant to India, but other two reports are very important. Something which we have to get into it very. There should be an in-depth analysis of other two reports that we will be doing it. Notes எடுங்க திருப்பி சொல்றேன். Notes எடுங்க. நான் வந்து PPT தர மாட்டேன். You have to write it by yourself. Giving PPT is a bad practice. You should write it in your hand. Then only you will remember it. Otherwise, you will not remember. PPT கொடுத்துருவாங்கல்ல அப்படின்னு எழுதாம இருந்தீங்கன்னா you are not going to remember anything. சரி, ஓகே. குளோபல் டெரரிசம் இண்டெக்ஸ் பாருங்க. இது எதை பேசுது அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா global trends in terrorism பத்தி பேசுது. How it is calculated upcoming slides la varum. What are the factors which will be taken into accounts அப்படிங்கிறது வந்துட்டு upcoming slides la varum. So data collected from the global terrorism database. இது வந்து ஒரு open source database. இது வந்து யாரு கொடுப்பாங்க அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்துட்டு National Consortium for the study of terrorism and response to terrorism.
Sir, அதுவும் ஆஸ்திரேலியால இருக்கா?
இது ஓபன் சோர்ஸ்ங்க, ஓபன் சோர்ஸ். இத தெரியுதா? Response to terrorism. National Consortium for the Study of Terrorism and Response to Terrorism. இது வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் வரும். START அப்படின்னு வரும். சரிங்களா? This start அப்படிங்கறவங்க வந்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா they will record all the terrorist activity happening throughout the world in a database and which is an open source. Anybody can actually have access to it. And this particular data, using this particular data from this particular database is what the Institute of Economic and Peace என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா they will create a index called as Global Terrorism Index. So this particular database will contain all the incidents of terrorism throughout the world. Every incident will be recorded in this. Based on this particular record, what happens is that Global Terrorism Index will be actually released. So இதெல்லாம் தேவையில்ல, இதெல்லாம் எடுக்க வேண்டாம், இது அப்படியே விட்டுருங்க. This particular point is not required. The index ranks countries based on trends of terrorist activity. The trends of activities என்னங்கிறது அடுத்த ஸ்லைட்ல வரும். So what are the trends? How it is been calculated அப்படிங்கிறது அடுத்த ஸ்லைட்ல வரும். யாராவது இன்டர்நேஷனல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் எல்லாம் படிக்கிறீங்கன்னா இது எடுத்துக்கங்க லாஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட், இல்லைன்னா வேண்டாம். தெரியல. What is terrorism?
An act of inflicting terror.
Okay, very good. That's one good definition. So anything else?
Attacking people of a particular race, community, under a belief that they don't.
No, that's fundamentalism. What is terrorism? Terrorism, no.
They don't have a particular motive.
அப்படியா?
So they don't have a particular motive. By definition, they don't have a particular motive.
Okay.
Rather, they want to do over the fear of others.
Yeah, that's accept. But motive ஓடையும் இருக்கலாம், motive இல்லாமயும் இருக்கலாம் இல்லையா? So there are many terrorist outfits with a motive, no? இப்ப கிலாஃபத் கொண்டு வரணுங்கிறது ISIS ஓட motive.
Predominantly,
Good. Okay. Maybe the general definition is okay, but என்னன்னா second part of your definition is completely to strike fear on the common people. அதுதான் வந்து terrorism. பயம் கத்தி எடுத்து தான் பண்ணணுங்கிற அவசியமே கிடையாது. If I can able to strike terror in your mind, I am a terrorist. Terrorist ஒரு 4 டைம் சொன்னோம்னா கூகுள் வந்து எடுத்து நம்மள சந்தேக லிஸ்ட்ல போட்டுரும். That's what the terrorism is. So say, tell me what are the reasons for terrorism? ஒரு question கேக்குறாங்கன்னு வெச்சீங்களேன். Enumerate few reasons for terrorism and how it can be curtailed அப்படின்னு ஒரு கேள்வி வருது. How it can be stopped அப்படின்னு ஒரு கேள்வி வந்தா என்ன பதில் சொல்லுங்க?
To occupy a
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சொல்லுங்க, ரீசன் சொல்லுங்க, டெரரிஸ்டுக்கான ரீசன் சொல்லுங்க. Fundamentalist ideology.
Counter that with access to education to all awareness.
Do you think people who are educated don't have fundamentalist ideology? Do you know what degree Usama bin Laden had?
She was an engineer, chemical engineer.
Do you know what degree others, the people who inflict violence had?
I mean, not just with education in that sense, but also.
See, the basics of anyone else. What is the reason of why the terrorism is actually happening? Terrorism is there are lots of forms of terrorism, cyber terrorism. So terrorism is going on, but we are not speaking about the conventional terrorism. Why do you think that? What's the reason?
territorial ambitions,
Territorial ambition. Okay.
religious
Religious ambition. Okay. Yeah, religion. No, yeah, food religion. Why you are only thinking about religion? Is there anything else which inflicts violence? Religion, terrorism, violence. Think about Red Corridor. Think about Naxalites. Think about Northeast people.
marginalized sections.
Well, that's the main reason. Main reason for the cause of terrorism is access to resource. People need access to resource. When they are denied the access of resource, they resort to violence. Why don't you go and resort to violence? Why you are not fighting? Why you are not going and inflicting terror everywhere? Why we people are not going?
Because our basic necessities are actually.
Our basic necessities are fulfilled and we live a secure life where we don't want to disturb it. So when you just imagine giving secure life to everybody, go out the world, what will happen? Will there be violence anymore? Will there be terrorism?
But it would have substantially reduced.
substantially it will reduce. Obviously, there will be certain people who are not psychologically stable, feeling they will be infecting miles, completely different aspect. I'm just asking you about the root cause of poverty, accessibility to resource. All these depend on accessibility.
Is concerned. The basic reason why they resort to terrorist activity because they don't have.
That's a mistake study. That's what it is. I want to come to the next one. Next one is mistake study. Poverty will be there, again it will, and hence there is too much of terrorist activity in that particular place. Terrorism you go company and investment again now society where the poverty will be increased. Because the poverty will increase, again the terrorism activity will be increased. It's a vicious thing. It's dangerous. So that's why the government of India wanted us to see it brings on special provisions to those areas which is covered. Central people ideologies, terrorist ideologies, they will be pumping in money in order to get the people out of this particular vicious cycle.
Bad, a cycle of bad activities.
Cycle which will not be, the people cannot come out of that cycle until unless external stimulus is vicious. ஓடியே போயிட்டாங்க 2-3 பேர் ஆன்லைன்ல. Okay, these are the criteria. So total number of terrorist incidents in the country. First, second வந்து என்னன்னா number of injuries, death, damage. இதெல்லாம் தான் criteria. இது கூட இன்னொரு additional criteria, இன்னொரு 4 criteria இருக்கும். மொத்தம் 8 criteria இருக்கும். இது வந்து basic criteria, அப்புறம் additional criteria இன்னொரு 4 இருக்கும். இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேசிக் கிரைட்டீரியாஸ், எவ்வளவு இன்சிடென்ட் நடந்திருக்கு, அந்த இன்சிடென்ட்னால எவ்வளோ இன்ஜுரிஸ் நடந்திருக்கு, எவ்வளோ டெத் நடந்திருக்கு, எவ்வளோ டேமேஜஸ் நடந்திருக்கு. இது மூணு தான் வந்துட்டு they take these things as their basis in order to rank a country. இந்தியா எத்தனாவது ரேங்க்ல இருக்கு? I'll just give you another data. India வந்து 2019ல வந்து it was in 7th rank. 2020ல it became 8th. 2023 lives 13th, which means it's continuously improving its stance. There could be a statement in your prelims: is India is improving consistently in terrorism. And this can be used as a valid point in your mains examination in order to prove that India is improving. There could be a question. There could be a condition where you have to mention that India is actually improving. Abdina, you should give a proof. And this could be the proof. I'm not taking anything new. This can நீங்களே படிச்சிரலாம் வீட்ல உட்கார்ந்து. But ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம், what we are discussing here is how to implement it. How we are going to use these data in the mains.
They
2019ல 7th இருந்துச்சு. I'm not கம்ப்ளீட்டா எனக்கு எல்லா இயரும் தெரியாது. Because 2019 to 2018 we were equal to Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan. That much we were very, the terrorism was so much widespread in 2019. 2020 we became better by 1 rank. By now we are in 13th, which means from 7th we have come to 13th. From 2019 to 2022, 22, 23 report 22 வரைக்கும் தான். இந்த நோட்ஸ் தான் உங்களை உயர்த்தும். இந்த கிளாஸும் கூட உங்களை உயர்த்தாது, ஓரளவுக்கு தான் உயர்த்தும். நீங்க எழுதுற நோட்ஸ் தான் உங்களை உயர்த்தும். தியாகம் தான் உங்களை உயர்த்தும் குமார்ங்கிற மாதிரி தான். டெரர் ஆக்டிவிட்டி டிக்ரீஸ்க்கு மெயினான ரீசன் என்ன அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் என்னன்னா, we have made brought up certain reforms in military protections in the frontiers. Like we have introduced for example வந்து என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, சைரன்லாம் வந்துட்டு ஏன் நம்ம வந்து கொடுக்கறது இல்லை அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, it's because the parliament attack have happened because of siren vehicle. Siren vehicle வந்து ஸ்டாப் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க, டெரரிஸ்ட் வந்து சைரன் வெஹிக்கிள்ல வந்து புந்துட்டாங்க உள்ள. So these kind of reforms have been brought in. நீங்க வந்துட்டு ஃபென்சிங் எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா எப்படி பண்ணிருக்கோம்னா வந்துட்டு, இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஹைபிரிட் ஃபென்சிங் சொல்லுவோம், லேசர் பேஸ்டு ஃபென்சிங், சேட்டலைட் பேஸ்டு ஃபென்சிங் எல்லாம் பண்ணுவோம். என்ன ரீசெண்டா பண்ணாங்க ஆஃப்டர் 2019 அந்த டைம்ல பண்ணலாம்.
We have got really reform both hard and soft.
நிறைய ரிஃபார்ம்ஸ் இருக்கு. அது ரிஃபார்ம் லிஸ்ட் வந்து இட்ஸ் கோஸ் ஆன் ஆக்சுவலி ஈவன் எக்ஸலென்ட் ரிஃபார்ம்ஸ் கொண்டு வந்துருவோம். அதே மாதிரி வந்துட்டு என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம வந்து அந்த சரண்டர் ஆப்ஷன்லாம் கொடுத்தாங்க. ஆக்சுவலி யூ சரண்டர் வி வில் ரெடியூஸ் த யுவர் டேர்ம்ஸ் பனிஷ்மெண்ட்ஸ் குறைக்கிறோம். நிறைய பேர் சரண்டர் ஆனாங்க ஆக்சுவலி. ஸோ வி ஹவ் ஆல்சோ வி ஆர் வெரி சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் இன் பிரிங்கிங் இன் மோர் டெவலப்மெண்ட் இன் தீஸ் ஏரியாஸ் ஆல்சோ. இதுவுமே டெரரிஸ்ட் பீஸ் இண்டெக்ஸ்லாம் மேலே போறதுக்கு காரணம். யோசிச்சு பாருங்க எவ்வளவு ஸ்டார்ட் அப் இந்தியா, ஸ்டாண்ட் அப் இந்தியா, ஆல் தோஸ் திங்ஸ் கான்ட்ரிபியூட் டு ரெடியூஸ்ட் டெரரிசம் இன் த கண்ட்ரி.
Those different areas and also
See, there could be lots of issues, like lots of debate regarding the present government in other areas, but in the developmental areas this government is very successful. That one thing which we have to accept. Other areas I don't want to give any kind of what to say, I don't have any facts to speak for or against the government, but in developmental area last 10 years was very we had a steep development. So development will directly have consequences on terrorist activity. Next one. So this are some more factors like socio-economic conditions under terrorist activities occurs in the country. Long-term trends, changes in terrorism in the country, geopolitical drivers in terrorism, the types of strategy deployed by the terrorists. Particular country la vandu nuclear tactics, nuclear warheads வந்து ஒரு டெரரிஸ்ட் வச்சிருந்தாங்கன்னா அந்த கண்ட்ரி நீங்க பீஸ்ஃபுல் கண்ட்ரினே சொல்ல முடியாது. அங்க சண்டை நடந்தாலும் சரி நடக்காட்டியும் பாகிஸ்தான் கிட்ட நியூக்ளியர் பவர் இருக்குங்கிறதே கொஸ்டின் இருக்கும். அவன் சும்மா சொல்றானா நிஜமாலுமே வச்சிருக்கானாங்கிறதே டவுட் தான்.
நம்ம வந்து யுஎஸ் நாங்கதான் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லப்பா நாங்க பீஸ்ஃபுல் கண்ட்ரி எங்களுக்கு வந்து
everything doesn't have proof. That could be a deterrent strategy. Maybe a deterrence policy, even if they have, they cannot use it. They cannot use it.
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச
See, you need to understand there should be a complete what to say you have to think out of the media's influence that Pakistan is not our enemy. Rather, the Pakistan government and the people, I mean the government of India is fighting. It's not about the people. So the people, I have heard there was certain articles like a year before I have read where you will be treated very hospitably in Pakistan. If you go to Pakistan, they'll treat you very respectfully. That's what I have heard. So it's an fight between, or it's an என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு தனிநபர் or a group of people don't like India and they wanted to damage it. That's all. It's not the whole Pakistan. That's what the mindset. That's what the tuning you have to do it.
வாங்க நீங்க எங்க நாட்டு வாங்க கொஞ்சம் டீ சாப்பிடுங்க, டீ சாப்பிட்டு அப்புறம் போங்க.
டீக்கு ஆஃபர் கொடுத்துருக்காங்களா?
டீ சாப்பிடுங்க, நீங்க எங்க நாட்டுக்கு இவ்வளவு தூரத்துல இருந்து டிராவல் பண்ணி வந்திருக்கீங்க, எங்க நாட்டு டீ சாப்பிட்டு அப்புறம் போங்கிற மாதிரி நம்ம இமிகிரேஷன் எல்லாம் பண்றாங்க. எதுக்கு வந்தா எது வந்ததுன்னு கேட்டு நம்மளை விரட்டி விட்டுடுவோம்.
நான் இது வரைக்கும் இமிகிரேஷன் போனதில்லை கிருஷ்ணா, அது எனக்கு தெரியாது. காப்பி பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? நெக்ஸ்ட் போலாம். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து எக்கலாஜிக்கல் த்ரெட் ரிப்போர்ட். இது யார் கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னா அவங்க தான் கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஸோ எக்கலாஜிக்கல் த்ரெட் ரிப்போர்ட்ல வந்துட்டு ஒரு 178 இது வந்து ஒரு ரிப்போர்ட், இட்ஸ் நாட் அன் இண்டெக்ஸ். ஸோ திஸ் ரிப்போர்ட் ஆல்சோ பிகம்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் இன் ஆர்டர் டு கோட் சர்டைன் டேட்டாஸ் டீடைல்ஸ்.
So what's the meaning of report? Difference between report and index?
Index is a number. It will rank your country. Report will give statistics about statistics about what's happening in the world. It's not a ranking mechanism. It gives you a idea how the country is, how the world is. So this is going to give us what the name suggests. What does it give? It's going to give us now. It's going to give us how ecological threat is happening throughout the world. So today, what we would the objective would be to understand the complete an international organization called as IEC and what are the reports they give, and that's what the complete data of the particular organization will be covered today. That's how we will be covering another organization in the next class. Likewise, we will be covering around, like if I cover around 15-20 organization, your complete international organization will be covered. You don't have to go somewhere else and read it again. So there are next to 2 slides, there will be certain findings which you have to note it down. Then we will go to the next topic. So this
last point மட்டும் எழுதி
once again, others are not. I'm gap last point is how what kind of tactics the terrorist group uses. That's the last point. Next one. Okay, இதெல்லாம் பாருங்க around 1.26 billion அப்படினா எத்தனை கோடி? 126 கோடி people. 126 கோடி. It's not ஒரு கோடி. It's 126 கோடி people வந்து 30 countryல extreme ecological risk and role level of ecological risk னா என்ன?
climate change.
Ecological risk னா என்ன? What is ecological risk? Ecological risk.
அவங்களுக்கு geographical location resources வேற ecological risk நீங்க எல்லாமே ரொம்ப ஒரே டைமென்ஷன்ஸ். ரிசர்ச் பண்றது வச்சுக்கீங்க வேற ecological risk. Drought வரும், scarcity வரும், வேற diseases வரும், water stress வரும், வேற அதே சோ இதெல்லாமே தான் வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா எக்கலாஜிக்கல் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ். அதாவது என்னன்னா எக்கலாஜிக்கலி ஒரு சேஞ்ச் நடக்குது, there is a change happening ecologically which will put our lives in danger. That's what is called as ecological risk. சரிங்களா? அந்த எக்கலாஜிக்கல் ரிஸ்க்ல வந்துட்டு எத்தனை பேர் இருக்காங்க? கிட்டத்தட்ட 120 கோடி பேர் வந்து ஹை ரிஸ்க்ல இருக்காங்க. Which means if ecology changes, for example, if the climate changes, the global temperature rises by 1 degree, these many people will get affected. The slightest of change in ecology will affect around 130 crores of people across 13 countries. எந்த மாதிரியான ரீஜன் ரொம்ப அஃபெக்ட் ஆகும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? கோஸ்டல் ரீஜன்ஸ். அதோட அஃபெக்ட் ஆகிற ரீஜன் பயங்கரமா சப்சஹாரன் ரீஜன் தான் ரொம்ப அஃபெக்ட் ஆகும். சப்சஹாரன் ரீஜன் ஏன் ரொம்ப அஃபெக்ட் ஆகும்னா ஆல்ரெடி அவங்க கிட்ட வந்துட்டு they will be in the edge of desertification. 1 டிகிரி ஜாஸ்தி ஆச்சுன்னா அவன் ஃபுல்லா டெசர்ட் ஆயிடும். So the region which is mostly at threat தான் சப்சஹாரன். அதுக்கப்புறம் சவுத் ஈஸ்ட் ஏஷியா. சவுத் ஈஸ்ட் ஏஷியா ஏன் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா ஹை டென்சிட்டி ஆஃப் பாப்புலேஷன் as well as access to the ocean. ஓஷன் பக்கத்துல இருக்காங்க, ஹை டென்சிட்டியா இருக்காங்க. 1 சென்டிமீட்டர் மேல வந்தாலும் கொத்தா போயிடுவாங்க. சோ யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, யார் யாரெல்லாம் ஹைட் இருக்குல்ல. அகைன் ஐலாண்ட் கண்ட்ரிஸ், பாலினீஷியா, மால்தீவ்ஸ், இவங்க எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹைலி ரிஸ்க்ல இருப்பாங்க. ஸ்ரீலங்கா அது சவுத் ஈஸ்ட் ஏஷியால வந்துள்ள சவுத் ஏஷியா, சவுத் ஈஸ்ட் ஏஷியா எல்லாம் சவுத் ஏஷியா அண்ட் சவுத் ஈஸ்ட் ஏஷியா. இந்த கம்ப்ளீட் ரீஜன், இந்தியா, ஸ்ரீலங்கா, இந்தோனேஷியா, வியட்நாம், லாவோஸ், கம்போடியா, இதெல்லாமே. நார்த் ஆப்பிரிக்கா, ஏன்னா இதெல்லாம் டெசர்டிபிகேஷன் டக்குன்னு ஆயிடும். இதெல்லாம் சவுத் ஏஷியாலாம் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹை டென்சிட்டி ஆஃப் பாப்புலேஷன். இந்த டேட்டாலாம் நீங்களே படிச்சுக்கிறீங்க. ஏதாவது எக்ஸ்பிளேஷன் வேணுமா? செகண்ட், ரெண்டாவது பாருங்க, குளோபல் ஃபுட்ஸ் இன்செக்யூரிட்டி ஹஸ் இன்க்ரீஸ் 44% சின்ஸ் 2014. 2014 இருந்து இப்போ வரைக்கும் 44% என்ன ஆயிருக்கு? அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? முதல்ல 100 பேர் வந்து சாப்பாடு எல்லாம் இருந்தாலும் இப்ப 144 பேர் சாப்பாடு எல்லாம் இருக்கும். அப்படி இருக்கும் போது இதுக்கான முக்கியமான காரணம் என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா 2019 வந்த கோவிட். That's the one important reason why this have increased so much. Food security scarcity வந்து ரொம்ப பூஸ்ட் ஆனதுக்கான முக்கியமான காரணம் COVID-19. And 2014 5.4 billion people will live in the country facing extreme water stress. So தண்ணியை பத்தி பேசுறாங்க. 5.4 billion எவ்வளோ?
கோடி
540 கோடி. கிட்டத்தட்ட எவ்வளவு பாப்புலேஷன் வருது? 2/3 of the population will be in the water stress country by 2040. யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, தண்ணி கிடைக்காது. ஒரு 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 டெரிஃபிக் சர்க்கம்ஸ்டான்சஸ் சொல்லட்டுமா சென்னையோடது? ஒரு 4 நாளைக்கு வந்து இந்த பாட்டில்டு வாட்டர் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் என்ன ஆவீங்க? என்ன ஆகும்? பாட்டில் வாட்டர் போடுறாங்க இல்லையா அவங்க வீட்டுல, கேனு, அதை நிறுத்திட்டாங்க. ஒரு 5 நாளைக்கு என்ன ஆகும்? ஃபில்டர் போடணுமா? We are already in water scarcity. We buy water, which means we are in scarcity. Water is a natural resources which is available free. When you are giving money for water, which means you are already in water scarce area. நம்மள ஆல்ரெடி வாட்டர் ஸ்கேர்சிட்டி தான் இருக்கும். நம்ம என்ன நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம், ஃபியூச்சர்ல வாட்டர் ஸ்கேர்சிட்டி வந்துடும் சார்.
தண்ணி வரல, ஏதாவது நடந்துட்டுதான் இருக்கு எங்க ஏரியால.
பார்த்து யூஸ் பண்ணி பிரயோஜனம் இல்லை. ஆல்ரெடி என்னன்னா, see this may sound as if something which is going to happen in the future, but reality is not so. That's what I wanted to make. We are already in water scarcity. அதான் நான் சொல்லுவேன். கரெக்ட் தான் நீங்க சொல்றது. ஆனா வந்து யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, பணத்துக்கு தண்ணிக்கு காசு கொடுக்குறீங்க, நெக்ஸ்ட் ஆக்சிஜன் காசுக்கு காத்துக்கு காசு கொடுப்பீங்களா? ஆல்ரெடி அந்த நிலைமையும் வந்துருச்சு. இட்ஸ் ஆல்ரெடி ஆக்சிஜன் அதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு பாத்தீங்கன்னா we are already facing itங்கிறதா இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய பாயிண்ட். நெக்ஸ்ட் என்னன்னா 70% of population suffers from inadequate access to safely managed water which will compounded by high population growth. இது வந்து இன்னுமே ஹை பாப்புலேஷன் growthனால கம்பவுண்ட் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சொல்லுவாங்க. வாட்டர் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் வச்சு பாருங்க. வாட்டர் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் பத்தி எந்த கேள்வி வந்தாலும் இந்த டேட்டா நீங்க தாராளமா யூஸ் பண்ணுங்க. இந்த டேட்டாவோட மகிமை வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு எப்ப தெரியும்னா, நீங்க ஒரு எஸ்ஏ எழுத போகும்போதோ, ஒரு ஆன்சர் ரைட்டிங் எழுத போகும்போதோ, GS 1ல வந்து சொசைட்டி பேஸ் பண்ணி எழுத போகும்போது, GS 1ல வந்துட்டு ஜியோகிராபி கொஸ்டின் எழுத போகும்போது சரி, இல்ல என்வரான்மெண்ட் கொஸ்டின் எழுத போகும்போதும் சரி, அதே பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டைம்ல வந்துட்டு நீங்க வந்து டிசாஸ்டர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் பத்தி ஒரு கொஸ்டின் எழுத போதும் சரி, இந்த டேட்டா எல்லாம் ரொம்பவுமே யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். ஸோ இட் பி வெரி ஹெல்ப். நெக்ஸ்ட் போலாமா? Other key finding: 11 countries are projected to double their population between 2001 and 2050 in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes, sir. நம்ம countryல கூட தான் population
நம்ம கண்ட்ரில பாப்புலேஷன் டபுள் ஆச்சுன்னா அவ்வளவுதான்.
அது அதுக்குதான்
நோ ஆக்சுவலி நீங்க வந்து அதுல வந்துட்டு மால்தீஷியன் தியரி ஆஃப் டெமோகிராஃபின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு தியரி இருக்கு. தியரி இப்ப நான் எடுத்தேன்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு 1 மணி நேரம் ஆயிடும். So I'll tell you someday as tomorrow when we have our class in the evening I will tell you maybe on Monday. I'll tell you what Malthusian theory of demographic transition is. அதுல சொல்லுவாங்க. So now we have crossed that state. Sub-Saharan regions are in the first stage. So there will be birth rate and reduced death rate.
சார் அதுக்கு தானே சார் நமக்கு வந்து 1975ல அந்த ஸ்டெரிலைசேஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் ஆரம்பிச்சார். அந்த மாதிரி அந்த பாப்புலேஷன் ஓவரால் வந்து அடக்கிறதுக்கு தானே.
Yes.
அண்ட் அதுவே ஃபெயில் ஆயிடுது.
ஃபெயில் ஆகலீங்க. It's not a failure.
தமிழ்நாடு இந்த சைடு மேபி கொஞ்சம் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது, பட் நார்த் இந்தியால இட்ஸ் ஃபெயில்ட்.
No, I cannot say it's a failure. நார்த் இந்தியால முதல்ல 12 குழந்தை இருக்கும். அது வந்து 3-2 குறைஞ்சதே ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம். அந்த லெவலுக்கு கொண்டு வந்ததே இட்ஸ் வெரி பிக் டீல். இட்ஸ் நாட் வெரி ஈஸி. உங்களோட எஜுகேஷன் பர்சன்டேஜ் லிட்ரஸி ரேட் வச்சுப்பாங்க. லிட்ரஸி விட்டுருங்க, உங்களோட எஜுகேஷன்ங்கிறது வேற. லிட்ரஸி இஸ் when you are able to write your name, it's you will called as literate. அதான் டெஃபினிஷன். அந்த டெஃபினிஷன் படி நீங்க போனீங்கன்னா அரௌண்ட் more than 90% people will be literate. Education is to give them proper எத்தனை பேருக்கு நம்மளுக்கு ஃபண்டமெண்டல் டியூட்டிஸ் தெரியும்? எத்தனை பேருக்கு நம்மளுக்கு இங்க இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கே நான் கேட்கிறேன், எத்தனை பேருக்கு வந்து ஜனகணமன ஃபுல்லா தெரியும்? பெரிய கொஸ்டின் மார்க்குங்க அதெல்லாம். ஸோ பீப்புள் கம் டு நம்ம யூபிஎஸ்சி படிக்க வந்தவங்களுக்கே இவ்வளோ ஷார்ட் கமிங்ஸ் இருக்க போகும்போது ஒரு நார்த் இந்தியால போய் பீகார்ல ஒருத்தர் வந்து கிட்ட போயிட்டு நீங்க வந்து பாப்புலேஷன் தப்புன்னு எப்படி புரிய வைப்பீங்க? ஆனா புரிய வச்சிருக்காங்க. ஃபெயிலியர்லாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. It's more successful in South India than North India, but it's not a failure.
Yeah, South India மட்டும் சக்சஸ்.
Education. South India is a place which was peaceful long before North India. கன்சிஸ்டன்டா we were very flexible. நீங்க படிக்கும் போது தெரியும், நம்மளோட கடைசியா எப்போ வந்து சுதந்திர போராட்டம் வார் நடக்கும்னா வெள்ளூர் மீட்டிங் நடக்கும். அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம வந்து we will be very peaceful. What happened is instead of going for revolts and fights, we were two developments. அதனாலதான் நிறைய பிரிட்டிஷோட கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் தமிழ்நாட்டுல ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும். நீங்க ஊட்டி சைட் எல்லாம் போயிட்டீங்கன்னா எல்லாமே பிரிட்டிஷ் கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன்ஸ் தான் இருக்கும். நீங்க வின்டர் கேபிட்டல்ல நெக்ஸ்ட் போலாம். 177 countries or territories are recorded warmer average temperature compared to historic average temperature. இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்ச நியூஸ் தான். Historic average temperature. நெக்ஸ்ட் போலாமா? நான் இதுவே நோட்ஸ் தான் எடுத்திருக்கேன். இதுல இருந்தும் நீங்க நோட்ஸ் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப பெருசா ஆயிடும். அதனால அப்படியே காப்பி பண்ணுங்க. ஆன்லைன்ல சில ஜீவன்கள் இருக்காங்க, மறந்து விட்டோம். அன்பின் செல்வன் ஐபிஎஸ்.
சார் 5 ஸ்லைடுக்குள்ள 2 பேஜ் ரொம்ப இருக்கு.
ஸோ இது ஒரு ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. இதை இங்க எழுத வேண்டாம், பட் ஜஸ்ட் படிச்சுக்கங்க. என்னன்னு சொல்லிட்டு என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா கம்பைன்டு, அதாவது என்ன ஒன் எர்த் ஒன் ஃபியூச்சர் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரியான ஒரு கான்செப்ட். எல்லாத்தையுமே கம்பைன் பண்ணுங்க, கோ ஃபார் அண்ட் கம்பைன்ட் எஃபோர்ட் அப்படிங்கிற கான்செப்ட். ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் இல்லைங்களா?
கிரிதாரி,
எஸ் சார்.
நிறைய பேர் ஆன்லைன்ல இருக்கிறவங்க சில பேருக்கு வந்து தமிழ் தெரியாது. they don't understand Tamil.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually I asked them, sir, everybody was comfortable with Tamil. Is there anyone who's not comfortable with Tamil?
Yes, Sarvesh Kadam.
Yes,
Okay,
actually I
you have
joined
joined
it, so that's why.
only, is it?
Okay, so there are non-Tamil students.
Okay, okay, I'll take. So what do you think? So this is what it is. So this particular topic is over. Any doubts in this? Any doubt in this? சீக்கிரமா முடியுங்க சார், வீட்டுக்கு போகணும் அப்படிங்கிறீங்களா? So this is ammunition. Ammunition என்ன? Ammunition and ammunition. Correct pronounce பண்றேன். Ammunition. What is munition? ரெண்டும் ஒண்ணுதான். சரிங்களா? Ammunition. Ammunition அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா the what we feed for the weapons. Bullets are ammunition to the guns and the மாதிரி வந்துட்டு it's missiles are the ammunition for.
Anything which is used as a payload and.
Yes, anything which is used as a payload which can cause destruction is called as ammunition. சரிங்களா? So அப்படி இருக்கும்போது cluster munition யாரை கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா இதுக்கு முன்னாடி? It's a very big problem in international security. So it's a very big issue in international security. It has this is continuously coming because USA is providing this clustered munition to Ukraine. When Ukraine, if it is uses, what the effect would be? That's what we are going to discuss in this article. So what would be the answer? Both 1 and 2. How many of you say both 1 and 2? How many of you say A or
D.
India on the signatory கிடையாதுங்க. India is not a signatory.
Yes, sir.
India is not a signatory because India thinks it's against its sovereignty, and also India doesn't use cluster weapon by itself because it's considered to be a self what is a discipline kind of thing where we won't use clustered weapons anywhere, but still we are not a signatory. We don't use. So we are not a signatory also. So that depends. நீ யார் சொல்றீங்க? Who are you to say? I myself will be not using it. So you don't say me. அப்படிங்கிற கான்செப்ட். So answer வந்து என்ன இதுக்கு? இந்த கொஸ்டின்ஸ்லாம் நான் கொடுத்துறேன் print out. அதை விடுங்க, இதெல்லாம் நீங்க நோட் பண்ணாதீங்க. Questions and all I will give you as a print out. Sorry. This is only to make you understand that what kind of questions might be asked. So cluster bomb na enna appdi pathina, this is what the cluster bomb is. It's like it will come as a package. When once it gets open, it will fall like a rain. It will rain on the people. So what happens here is it will have a far reaching consequences around the target area where the civilians can get affected. It's not completely targeted on a single target. So in that particular time, in that particular circumstances, what could happen? All the people around the civilians can be targeted. So let's come to another discussion. Do you think in a war, can any country target a civilian? Or for that matter, is there any conventions or is there any agreements in an international level where a war breaks between two countries, the civilians should not be targeted? அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது இருக்கா? Geneva Convention, very good. 1948 49 oda there is a convention called the Geneva Convention where where it has an universal membership. All the country has to follow Geneva Convention when it comes to the matter of war. அதுல வந்து என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா discriminated target ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. The target has to be discriminated. Discriminated என்ன அர்த்தம்? Delineate பண்ணணும். நீங்க எப்படி delineate பண்ணணும்? There has to be delineated by civilian and military. And whenever an attack happens, you only have to attack the military targets, and civilian attacking a civilian target is illegal. Getting the point? So அப்படி இருக்க போகும்போது even USA is also not a signatory to this particular convention. That also we have to note it down. But still, it is illegal to transfer cluster munition to another country because USA is a member of Geneva Convention. So this in no way can actually target a single target. So with this, what we need to understand is, anyways, the US what it is doing is illegal. It's not warranted. That's what we have to understand. Their intention is that all the ammunition will go on, but what happens is something will go on failure. Like, so in that particular circumstances, only 60% will get bursted immediately, and 40 will act as an passive mines. In the future, it will burst.
Are being detonated right now in many parts of Europe.
Even there was this one movie, no, like 2 or 3 years before, Tamil movie have also released. இரண்டாம் உலக போரின் கடைசி வெடிகுண்டுன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு படம் சரிமா? There would be the missile what to say, undetonated missiles will be washed to the shores of India even today. So this is they are all the more powerful right now. That's the issue. No, thing is that This online is very tricky.
Sir, please the previous slide, sir.
Yeah, I'm not, no, this is the previous slide you cannot draw, no?
No, sir, cluster bombs
is it?
on the side, sir.
See, I'm taking from various sources these notes. You don't have that complacence that I will go home and see it from myself. That will not work out because it's not from the same source. I will read all the sources. I'll take what are the points important. I'm giving it to you in a note form. So note it down. This is going to be very helpful. Notes எடுங்க சோம்பேறித்தனப்படாதீங்க. See, today itself you will feel that confidence. But what are the topics we have learned? You will, if you have the notes in your hand, you will feel the confidence. Notes are very important. இதுதான் உங்களால் ரிவைஸ் பண்ண முடியும். நீங்க ஈவினிங் போயிட்டு அண்டர்லைன் பண்ணி ரிவைஸ் பண்ணி பாருங்க. அந்த டாபிக்கே உங்களுக்கு முடிஞ்சிடும். And every day we are going to discuss one topic. We have already discussed. So that also has to be added up in this particular note. So our target would be around 300 topics before the prelims. Already how many topics have gone? Like first we studied about.
Intellectual property rights.
Before that also there was one topic which we பண்ணிருக்கோம் முன்னாடி என்னது ரோஹிணி கமிஷன் பண்ணிருக்கோம். ரோஹிணி கமிஷன் ஐபிஆர் பண்ணிருக்கோம். டிஜிட்டல் டேட்டா ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் நேத்து பண்ணிருக்கோம். இன்னைக்கு வந்து இன்ஸ்டிடியூட் ஆஃப் எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் அண்ட் பீஸ் முடிச்சிருக்கோம். இப்ப கிளஸ்டர் பாம் முடிக்கிறோம். இதுல வந்துட்டு இன்னும் நிறைய இருக்கு. இன்னும் 1.5 மணி நேரம் டைம் இருக்கு, முடிச்சிருவேன். சந்திராயன்லாம் இருக்கு. வந்துட்டு we need to go a bit fast. அதனால சீக்கிரம் எழுதுங்க. The people in online, can you go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Conventions of clustering munition. Okay, there is an announcement. This Independence Day, all the people have to attend. It's compulsory. Even online people. Maybe you will be attending in online. I don't know how. But attendance is compulsory. One. Second is we are going to conduct a couple of competitions for which we will be giving you some surprise prizes, gift vouchers. I don't know what it is, but we will be giving something. Could be a book also. So the competition is one, you have to write an essay on the topic 75 years of Indian independence. That's the topic of the essay. The essay should be of at least 3 pages. It's one thing. The best essay will be chosen, and you will be given with maybe cash prize. I don't know. Maybe some scholarship also can be given. I don't know. Maybe a bumper prize also might await. I don't know. That could be a car, jeep, aeroplane. I don't know. But any a prize actually writes. So write a good essay. That's one thing. Second thing is that the people who are here can give you an extempo. Extempo na a very tempo, sir. It's not extempo, kind of an oration you can give for 3 minutes. The topic will be the resurgent India or the new India. Your idea about resurgent India. Your idea about new India. That's how the future of India would be. Your idea. You have to tell me or tell us your own ideas. So this would be the topic for which you have to speak for like 3 to 4 minutes. Here also you will be the best speech will be selected and a prize will be given. So let's see. The last day to submit the essay would be 14th of August. That's on Monday evening. Before Monday evening, you have to submit this. Or you can even write in A3 sheet. You can even write in A5 sheet. All the sheet, any sheet you can write. You can write in rule paper, unruled paper, 4-rule paper. Even if possible, you can even write it as a inscription and give us to us. Stone inscriptions also is accepted. All also palm leaf inscriptions also it's accepted. The only thing is that you have to give me the say. That's all.
So the name and phone number கொடுக்கணும். Perfect.
Definitely yes. Can we go to the next slide? So இதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு see I'll just tell you this is a legally adapted நீங்க பாயிண்ட்ல வர மாட்டேங்குது. Legal instrument which means it has to be adhered to. If it's been breached, which means you will be facing penalty. அதான் இதோட அர்த்தம். இதுல என்னென்ன பண்றாங்கன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா they are prohibiting all the use, production, transfer, stockpiling எல்லாமே பண்ணிடுறாங்க. So இத நோட் பண்ணீங்க. So also they will be assistance to survivors and the survivors and the communities. So assistance கொடுக்குறாங்க. This also has to be noted. It's not only about abolition of stockpile, also the victims will be assisted.
The convictions for all disarmament will include use, production, transfer, and stockpile. எல்லா convictions-க்கும் common.
Correct. So this is common for all the conventions.
சார் ஆனா இப்போ யுஎஸ் இவ்ளோ ஸ்டாக் பைல் பண்ணி அனுப்புறாங்க அதுவே நியாயம் இல்ல அநியாயம் இல்ல.
Because US is not a signatory. That's a point I wanted to make. US, Russia, China, Pakistan, Israel are amongst others, and India is also not a signatory. Question வரும் கண்டிப்பா வரும். இந்தியா சிக்னேட்டரியான வரும். ஆல்ரெடி வந்திருக்கு இந்த மாதிரி கொஸ்டின்ஸ். ஒரு ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க இந்தியா இஸ் அ சிக்னேட்டரின்னு கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின்ல கொடுத்ததுனால இல்லையா அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கொஸ்டின் கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. There would be a question which I have already given to you, no? Those kind of questions will come in actual prelims. You cannot guess what will come and what will not come. We will go with maximum preparation. I have seen people judging about important and not important topics, and it's not going to work out. We will go maximum prepared.
சார் என்ன நிறைய ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணி போனாலும் அந்த 2 மணி நேரத்துல நமக்கு எல்லாம் பர்ஃபெக்ட்டா வரணும் இல்ல. என்ன அங்க போய் நம்ம வந்து அந்த பிரஷர்ல our mind will definitely go blank only, right?
The more you prepare, less the pressure you will feel. You have to go to that particular state of mind. It's for everybody. No? You have to go to that particular state of mind while entering the prelims. That if you see a question, உங்க மைண்ட் செட் எப்படி இருக்கணும், நான் எனக்கே தெரியல இவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியவா போகுது. தட் should be your level of preparation. You have to have that confidence. If you don't know answer, no one else should. That's the level of preparation you have to do. If you do that kind of preparation, you will have that confidence. எனக்கே தெரியல மத்தவனுக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியவா போகுது, அந்த ஆட்டிடியூட்ல எழுதுற அளவுக்கு நீங்க ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும். That's the preparation you need to do. நான்லாம் ப்ரிலிம்ஸ் எழுதும்போது அப்படிதான் யோசிப்பேன், எனக்கே தெரியல என்கிட்ட ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்னு ஒரு 100 பேர் படிச்சிருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியவா போகுது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் எழுதுவேன். அப்படி இருக்கும்போது that's how the mindset should be, at least for that 2 hours. அந்த ஆட்டிடியூட் அதுக்கு படிக்கணும், சும்மா ஆட்டிடியூட மட்டும் வச்சுட்டு போக படிச்சதான் அந்த ஆட்டிடியூட் வரும். only if you read you will have that attitude. எவ்வளவு டைம் இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? டைம் எவ்வளவு இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? வாட்ச் பார்த்து சொல்லுங்க. 15 சரிங்களா? இந்த முடிச்சீங்கன்னா ஒரு பிரேக் போயிட்டு வந்து 5 minutes 10 minutes பிரேக் வேணுமா? வேணுமா? வேணும்னா ஒரு 5 minutes 10 minutes போயிட்டு வாங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் வில் கண்டினியூ. ஏன்னா நிறைய இருக்கு, இன்னும் எவ்வளவு ஸ்டேஜ் இருக்கு, எவ்வளவு வந்திருக்கோம்? 18 தான் வந்திருக்கோம், இன்னொரு 40 ஸ்லைட்.
18
I will complete the whole slide, don't worry. By 7:30 I will stop. உங்க முகத்துல இருக்க அந்த பீதி எனக்கு தெரியுது. We will continue it in the upcoming sessions. ஸ்லைட் எல்லாம் நான் நிறைய போட்டுச்சு future. We have time. Generally என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, that's why I have spoken with the management and spoken with the team to bring the current affairs far ahead. Because generally we'll start only after January. We will have very less time. We have to rush it up. From now itself, if we start the current affairs, when it comes to prelims and all, you will be very much equipped in current affairs. Only thing which I expect from you people is to attend the current affairs sessions regularly. Sometimes it may be boring, sometimes you may feel down, whatever the feeling is. Just set your target. I will attend all the current affairs sessions. If you have this particular attitude, 300, 400 topics, if we go with complete discussion of this particular kind, definitely you'll have that confidence. So it's a very big confidence booster, because other subjects like conventional subject, you can read it by yourself. It doesn't require so much of effort. Current affairs requires too much effort. To prepare this, I took around almost 10 to 12 hours, which I'm telling you to you 2 hours, which is very much easier for you to grasp. Next போலாமா? So இது வந்து வே ஃபார்வர்ட் அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா வந்துட்டு, இது ஆல்ரெடி நான் சொல்லிட்டேன், என்னன்னா ஃபண்டமெண்டல் கஸ்டமரி இன்டர்நேஷனல் லா, அதாவது என்ன கஸ்டமரி இன்டர்நேஷனல் லா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஆர்டிகல் 51 clause 4 5 வந்து 5 speak about the cause of damage to the civilian and civilian object is not allowed, and 4 speaks about the customary international law. Customary international law எதை பத்தி பேசுதுன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணோம் இல்லையா, என்னன்னா whenever it comes to the matter of war, civilians should not be targeted. அதுதான் அந்த law பேசுது. It has universal signatory. Universally it's been accepted. World War II முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறமா 1949 ஒரு வார் நடந்தா எப்படி நடக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கான ஒரு விதிமுறைகள்ல என்னென்னலாம் விதிமுறை, what are the things should not be done when it comes to the matter of war, அல்ல civilians should not be attacked வந்துட்டு it's a part of your Geneva Convention 1949.
பாகிஸ்தான் நம்மளோட முதல் வாரிலேயே அதை ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டாங்க. He violated the convention.
No, he did not violate. No, he did not. See, you have to understand the difference between a terrorist attack and a war. War is between two nations. Random attack is like, it's different completely. You cannot prove it.
The theory is that tribes were attacking the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
We cannot prove it.
Cannot technically say that it was part of some group.
This time we have regulars also in that. So regular paper bag.
So at that time we did not even bond, so we cannot make that statement.
They were not also but rather tribes.
Because we have not born that particular time, we cannot say that, we cannot make any statements. Even if you were born, we would have been kids, no.
சார் அப்போ பிறந்திருந்தா நம்ம இப்போ ரொம்ப வயசாகி இருந்திருக்கும்.
Shall we go to the next topic? You can take a break of 5 minutes. At least I need a break of 5 minutes.
Excuse me, sir. Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Sir, can you please explain like why didn't India sign the convention?
So India didn't sign the convention because one thing is that it thinks it is an infringement to its own sovereignty. Second thing is that other countries like USA and other major countries did not sign.
Okay.
What happens if if Pakistan creates a cluster bombs and attacks India? So we will not be in a position to attack them back. So this is right. And third point is that we have our own self control mechanisms where we are not going to use, because India is a peace loving country, so we will not be using nuclear or for that matter any ammunition against any of the people. So these are the few things which kept in mind before, because of which India did not sign the convention. That's why it's not nuclear non-proliferation treaty. Also, India did not sign because of the same principles, which
Okay,
we will be
sir.
which we will be studying later.
Okay, sir.
So next will be carbon circular economy. எல்லாரும் பார்ப்போம். ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன டாபிக் இருக்குன்னா கார்பன் சர்க்குலர் எக்கானமி பத்தி ஒரு டாபிக் இருக்கு. அதுக்கப்புறமா வந்துட்டு எலக்ட்ரிக் வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ் பத்தி டாபிக் இருக்கு. ஸோ எலக்ட்ரிக் வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ் வந்து ஹவு வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு பூஸ்ட் எலக்ட்ரிக் வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ் இன் த கண்ட்ரி அப்படிங்கிற தேர் இஸ் திஸ் டாபிக். வாட் are the schemes and campaigns we have to in order to increase the electric vehicles in the country அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு டாபிக் இருக்கு. அப்புறம் சந்திராயன். I think all the 3 topics can be covered. First Chandrayaan பார்த்துடலாமா? So we'll be seeing at Chandrayaan as a whole question. Chandrayaan as a whole package we will be seeing from Chandrayaan 1 to Chandrayaan 3 and what is happening till today. Till today we have an updated facts about Chandrayaan. So the question could be asked, see, there could be 2 types of questions which could come from any space mission or for that matter any science and technology questions. One would be its impact on society. Another thing could be a technical question. What are the technicalities the particular mission has? So there could be 2 kind of questions can be asked in mains when it comes to the matter of technology based questions. So just tell me, let's discuss the first question actually. In a developing country like India, the space missions like Chandrayaan is really necessary.
Yes.
Why?
There's more job opportunities.
Even the people in online can answer.
Develop science and technology will actually increase the image, all the goodwill that India has in the international community. And moreover, this might also lead, this is also leading to orders from other countries to send their satellites.
Okay.
Even right now, we send satellite, in Singapore satellites using our launch vehicles.
Is there someone who have not yet come? Krishna Kono?
Basically.
Where you are?
Yes.
சொல்லுங்க காயத்ரி தேவையா தேவையில்லையா வை உங்களுக்கு என்ன தோணுது நீங்க சொல்லுங்க there is nothing right and wrong because people who are mute you are better than that when you speak so there's nothing to
Sir, as India is developing country, it has to mark its presence all over the world. As we do this kind of mission, we actually showing the world how powerful we can be and how good in technology
yes
we can be
that's
or
that's
we
one
are.
very good point. Accepted. That's one very good point. Accepted. So India can use the space missions like Chandrayaan as a soft power. Soft power in the sense, Sabrina, it's not only the yoga or the Bharatanatyam we have, which has its influence in throughout the world, but other the space technologies, the technologies what we possess can also have a effect on our international relations because this is going to be a very big achievement what the India is going to do. So in this particular thing, in this particular mission, the Chandrayaan is not nothing which is very new actually. Chandrayaan is something because the US also has sent missions to moon and the Russia also have sent missions to moon. But the specialty about this particular mission is that it is very cheap comparatively, very much cheaper. Around only 1/6 of the budget is being used, even less than that. So this boosts India as a space power in the international forum because with cheaper resources, if we can launch vehicles into the orbits, launch vehicles into the into the space, this provides us with an opportunity where we can dictate our norms to the world when it comes to the matter of space technology, and also it will trickle down to the other areas of interests also. So you will get a seat in a prestigious seat in the international forum. It's very important. It's access and soft power. That's one thing. Second thing, how it is going to rise India in the perspective of socio-economic development. Socio-economic development, when it comes to the matter of socio-economic development, leave away Chandrayaan in particular. Tell me how the space missions and defense research is going to help you out.
Resat or that. So they will help.
Resource satellite military order. Research resource satellite military order than not aware of it. Okay.
Keep a check on borders. Our borders.
So how it is socio-economic development? How it is going to contribute to socio-economic development?
For borders, then automatically
One is
can add that to human development programs.
okay. So spin-off technology is an accepted point. Spin-off technology is whatever research we do for our space and defense technology can be used for civilian use also. For example, there is this one video of Abdul Kalam sir, which was circulating recently, where he would say that the aluminum which they discovered for using for rocket was used as a process stick for children. So it will be lightweight as well as heavy durable. So can be used as a process stick for children with disabilities. So this is a spin-off technology where the socio-economic condition of the people can be developed. This one thing which struck me. Is there something else where how the space technology or for that matter any kind of defense technology is going to help the country socio-economically? It's been used actually. That's one valid point. We can use it for weather forecasting. In turn, it can be used for the proper cropping time and all those things can be done. The agricultural efficiency can be increased using satellite technologies. When agriculture improves, India being an agricultural country, socio-economic status of the people will go high. Then socio-economy, where it affect what are the other ways in which the socio-economy can be affected? Are you using?
Resource mapping.
Resource mapping can be done. When the resource mapping is done, we can go for an effective mining process. So effective mining process, if it happens, we will be having lots of resources which could improve the socio-economic conditions of the people. Where in a weather forecasting basic already. It will be used for agriculture and other things. Where which is not feasible today. Again, whether it is ethical, whether it is ethical or is it possible is a different kind of question which has to be answered. Because Earth is at its equilibrium right now. You take something in the Earth and you actually, even if you are going to destroy it, you are going to destroy it inside the Earth itself. The mass is going to be the constant. We will not know what kind of effect it will have if we bring foreign materials into the Earth. If you bring some minerals from moon to earth, let's say, the mass of the earth will be disturbed. If the mass of the earth is disturbed, its gravity will disturb. So its spin radius will disturb. So it's going to have different kind of, theoretically at least. If it's not practically, theoretically, definitely it will have its own repercussions. So that has to be thought of in the future. But right now, let's discuss about which can happen right now.
Secure our borders.
It will secure our borders. It's okay. Where we will have
Peace in the country.
peace in the country. All those things.
Educate
For educational purposes. We can use satellites for education purposes. So because of which socio-economic things can actually go up. What are the other points you can use? Archana, ஒளிஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கீங்க 2 பேருக்கு முன்னாடி ஒளிஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. சொல்லுங்க ஒரு பாயிண்ட் சொல்லுங்க. நேரம் ஒரு சார் காத்திருக்கேன். கார்த்திகேயனுக்குலாம் பெரிய கொஸ்டின் வச்சிருக்கேன். Disaster only. What will happen if disaster comes? What will happen to the socio-economic conditions of a society when a disaster comes? Can there be a proper disaster management using satellites, space technology, defense technology? Early warning systems can be used. Military, the vehicles and all the equipments which can be derived out of research and development of DRDO has been used for disaster management and mitigation. All those things are actually spin-off from Shiva. So, defense technology, for that matter, space technologies becomes a very important, where the research and the money spent on research and development is not only used for the particular purpose. They have their own effect. There will be a leaking effect. It will leak to the society, so that what happens is the people in the society will be socio-economically developed. So this is the concept. In the concept of mind வச்சிருந்தா நீங்க வந்து என்ன எழுதணும்னா whenever you write an answer, you have to write it that it is required, not required னு எழுதவே கூடாது. So next வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன Chandrayaan 1 mission. So Chandrayaan 1 missionல வந்துட்டு என்ன கண்டுபிடிக்கிற what was the purpose of this mission அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்துட்டு what did it had அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா it had something called as the most important part of the mission was moon impact probe அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒன்று இருந்துச்சு. There was this particular probe called as moon impact probe. This Chandrayaan 1 was launched using which launch vehicle? PSLV. சரிங்களா? PSLV, we used PSLV to launch this particular launch the module to the moon. ஓகேங்களா? So அப்படி இருக்க போகும்போது என்னன்னா எப்படி லான்ச் பண்ணுவோம் அப்படிங்கறது I will tell you in the next slide. How it is been launched, I will explain it to you in the next slide. Just know certain facts about Chandrayaan 1 here. The next slide I will be telling you the path in which all the moon missions of India, Chandrayaan 1, 2 and 3, how it is going to be launched அப்படிங்கறது வந்து I will tell you in the next slide. But just know certain facts about Chandrayaan 1 right now. This is enough because it's somewhere it's 2008 current affairs, so it's not very much important right now. But if at all, if someone comes and asks you if there is the question pops up in your mains questions like list down the list down the achievements of Indian Space Organization, this all has to be noted down. Without this data, you cannot write a proper answer for the achievements of Indian space organizations. There is a line in your syllabus which speaks about the achievements of Indian scientists, Indian science and technology. Indian science and technology field of the day, achievement. There is this line in your syllabus itself. So all these things has to be noted down. That's why I'm giving you all this. Chandrayaan 1 it had that space impact probe. What it will do is once you launch the space impact probe from the satellite to the surface of the moon, it will go and hit the moon and it sends us the data. And what are the findings of the data the first theory hypothesis which it proved to be true magma ocean hypothesis. Magma ocean hypothesis is a hypothesis which says that moon was once completely in the molten state. That's the magma ocean hypothesis. So this is number one finding of Chandrayaan 1. First, magma ocean hypothesis means moon was once liquid. It got consolidated in the future. And this is what the magma ocean hypothesis means. This is the number one finding of the Chandrayaan 1. Second finding, it detected titanium in the ocean, in the moon. And with NASA, it also found that the formation of hematite. Hematite na
Iron ore.
Huran. What did you say?
Iron ore.
Iron. I know. So iron ore na oxidized iron, which means there is oxygen in the
ferrous oxide சொல்லலாம்.
Oxygen இருக்கு, H oxygen மாதிரியே வந்துட்டு there is this அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க derive பண்ணிருக்காங்க NASA கூட சேர்ந்துட்டு. This is third finding. Fourth finding என்னன்னா moon's core has water. So இதனால தான் வந்து it's 4 findings of Chandrayaan 1. Chandrayaan 1 was a complete success.
ஒண்ணும் புரியல. இங்க வந்து மேக்மா ஓஷன்னு சொல்றா. நம்ம என்ன படிச்சிருக்கோம்னா எர்த்தோட வந்து கிரஸ்ட் அண்ட் மேட்ரிக்ஸ் நடுவுல தான் மேக்மா இருக்கு. பின்ன ஸ்பேஸ்ல எங்க இந்த மேக்மா வந்ததுன்னு புரியல.
அது எனக்கே புரியலங்க. That's an hypothesis, that's all. Hypothesis na enna?
Sir, just a statement. It is neither true. It is yet to be proved.
அதை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணோம்னா இன்னும் 2 மணி நேரம் ஆயிடும். அதை நான் வந்து நெபுலான்னு சொல்லணும். How to tell it from
Am I
nebula?
audible?
Yes.
Sir,
Yes,
what
I'm
is meant
you're
by
audible.
crash land, sir?
Crash landing means it
Crash
will not,
land.
there is type of landing actually. Now we are trying to soft land it, which means the module will land like an aeroplane. Aeroplane வந்து land ஆகிருக்கு பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? அதாவது என்னன்னா it will not it will have a module to land. It will have a module to or carry it without breaking. Crash landing is like it goes and falls in the surface of the moon, just like that. When you throw a stone, it will crash land in the earth. It will just go and hit the surface of the moon just like a stone. That is what is called as crash landing. Soft landing is it will be landing properly like any other aerial vehicles.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
அப்படியே போய் நேரா முட்டுறது வந்துட்டு கிராஷ் லேண்டிங்க, ப்ராப்பரா இறங்குறது வந்து சாஃப்ட் லேண்டிங். நம்ம வந்து சாஃப்ட் லேண்டிங்ல தான் ஃபெயில் ஆயிட்டோம் லாஸ்ட் டைம். திஸ் டைம் we are trying to soft land again.
சார் இந்த தடவை ரஷ்யாவே நம்ம கூட காம்படிஷன் ரேஸ்க்கு வந்துட்டாங்க போல இருக்கு. அவ கூட நம்ம ரேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம் இப்போ.
So we'll go to that. Is it over? Copy. This would be the last topic for today. Don't do it. அவங்களாம் 2 கிளாஸ் முடிச்சு உட்காந்துட்டு எல்லாம் பாவம். They have 2 classes in the morning. They're sitting for the 3rd class. Basic humanity we should have. So with this topic we will end the session. Next one. So this is the path what all the 3 missions have taken. So this has to be discussed bit in detail.
So, we launched around July, right, and then, the practical impact that we have then by was released very recently, but both of them are expected to land the same.
They use heavy rockets to launch straight to the moon. We use some other technique. That's what I was going to explain. So we are using the gravitational of the earth to launch our vehicles, because of which we will be using very less fuel. The budget will be very less.
launch பண்றான்?
I'm not sure about that Russian mission yet, because I don't have complete data about it. I have to prepare that data, so I have to go through that. Once I get through it, in the next session we will be comparing it. I cannot give anything without knowing the data. I'm not sure. I'll tell you in the future. That is what the achievement of ISRO is. We found a technique to launch our vehicles to the moon, even to the Mars, using a technique which is very, it will only take 1/6 of the fuel, and it will only take 1/6 of the actual cost to send a mission to the moon, which is it's a very big achievement. It's not simple. Again, what
is the reason behind it? Due to the budget, or
it's due to the budget.
technology?
It's due to the budget. We don't have budget.
There is no issue of technology.
We have technology. We can even borrow technology from others. That's different. But thing is that, see, when you can do it in a lower budget, why you will go for that particular kind of technologies? It only saves time. That it has its own demerits. The demerit is that it will take time. You're going to take much of time compared to it's going to take months to reach moon. So something has to be compromised. This is actually a brilliant idea. That is also when MOM or படம் இருக்கு, Mission to Mars அப்படின்னு சொல்லி மங்காயம் சொல்லி அக்ஷய் குமாரோட படம் இருக்கு, பாத்துருக்கீங்களா? So they will not have the budget actually. They will find this way to send the modules to the extraterrestrial things. So this is something which have been found. This is something the innovation of India. So what they would do is, see, this is called as this is called as elliptical orbit, which means this point will be only around 200 to 250 kilometers from the Earth. and this point will reach up to 1 lakh, even 2 lakhs kilometers. So what happens is this keeps on, what we will do is first we will launch the vehicle to the, once it's reaches the low Earth orbit, once it escapes the velocity, it starts rotating the Earth. I mean, it starts revolving the Earth. So the revolving path will be shorter and it will be kept on, this particular path, this elliptical path will kept on increasing by the boosters. So this boosters, what it do is, once the booster is being fired, the path will become elongated, and the second fire will be elongating the path further. So we will reach to a particular point from where the last boosting will take the module to the lunar transfer orbit trajectory. So it's kind of what the Earth is doing is, Earth is catching up this particular module and throwing it away. That's what's happening. The Earth gravity, it's throwing this particular module away. Instead of using the fuel to directly reach the moon, what we are doing is we are using the gravity of the Earth so that the Earth's gravity throws the module away, so that it will go, and what happens is it will get into the influence of moon's gravitation, and it will be attracted by the moon, and it will start to orbit the moon. And this is how the mission is planned to be launched. This is what happens. So what happens is simple first I will rotate somebody. For example, Krishna is there, I want to throw him away outside the class. What I would do, if I want to throw him away the class, if I push him, he will not go. I need more energy to push him outside. But what if I catch his hand, rotate him and throw him away? So I would require less energy to throw him away. So it's an easier way to throw him away. That's what's happening in the Earth also. What Earth is doing is, Earth is throwing away the module to the moon. And what happens is, moon will catch it with its own gravity, and it will catch it, and it's just like a flying kiss. Flying kiss, one person gives it from here, another person catches. Same thing happens in the Chandrayaan also. Earth is throwing away the module, and the moon will catch it, and it will start revolving around the moon. And what we will do is, we will have the module to slow down the revolution. As the revolution slows, it gets closer to the moon, and once we get into the particular distance, we will be launching the rover to the moon's surface. And this is what we have planned in Chandrayaan 3, and the same technology is used for all the 3 missions. So this is how the path will be. Any doubts? So what rocket is used for Chandrayaan 3?
GSLV Mach 3.
What is Mach 3? 3 times. What is the speed of sound? 343 meters per second. 343 meters per second, or 323 meters per second. That is the speed of the sound in atmosphere, which is 20 degrees in Celsius. Then at 0 degree, it will be 10 kilometer lesser. In 40 degree, it will be 10 kilometer faster. But here we define Mach. Mach is defined as the speed of sound in the atmosphere when the atmospheric temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, which is 243 meter per second. 343 meters per second. 1234.8 kilometers per hour. 1234.8 kilometers per hour. So Chandrayaan 2 the finding which the Chandrayaan 1 have given, in order to foster it, we have sent the second mission to the moon. In the moon, modules it had a lunar orbiter, which means we will have moon, and there will be a module to orbit the moon. Moon module. Why? Because whenever you are sending a rover into the moon, those signals cannot be directly captured in the stations from the Earth. It need a transmitting module. So all the data from the lunar surface will be transmitted to the orbiter. From orbiter, we will be receiving the data. Are you getting the point? புரியுதா என்ன சொல்றேன்னா? மூணு இப்படி இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். மூணு இப்படி இருக்குன்னா மூணோட சர்ஃபேஸ்ல ஒரு மாடியூல் இருக்குன்னா அங்கிருந்து எர்த்துக்கு டைரக்டா சிக்னல் கொடுக்க முடியாது. என்ன பண்ணா அதை சுத்தி ஒரு ஆர்பிட்டர் சுத்திட்டு இருக்கும். திஸ் data from the module in the ground will send data to the orbiter. From orbiter only we will be receiving the data. So orbiter is very important. So orbiter is one module. That is what's called as lunar orbiter. So what this lunar orbiter would have the module of the lunar orbiter would have carried Vikram lander. Lander means a module which will be like this. You'll have a box and you'll have 3 legs. What this will do is this will go and land on the moon, and inside this box there will be a robot kind of thing which we will be calling it as rover. This rover will get into the floor and make certain tests and send the signal to the orbiter, from where we will be getting the data. That is also possible. That can also happen.
என்ன பண்ணானா curiosity was on board a lander. Curiosity வந்து எல்லாம் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் மார்ஸ்ல landers வழியா அது வந்து it went to the deep space network telescope, and அங்கேருந்து நாசாக்கு வந்து they got the findings from the rover.
Okay, noted. So this is how the data is being transferred. This was expected to happen, but what happened? There was a crash landing. So the landing soft up will land down due to some software glitch. That's what the report have come. Report IS or NS there was some software glitch. The slowing down of the once it gets closer to the ground, it has to slow down, which did not happen because of some software glitch. So it crash landed it, because of which we lost the signal with the lander. So that was the failure. The part of the mission was failure. It's not a complete failure. So what is the success அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, so this and all you know. Anyways, you note it down. So 7 years, which means எப்போ வரைக்கும் ஆர்பிட்டருக்கு லைஃப் இருக்கு? From 2019. 2026 வரைக்கும். So which means the orbiter is still alive. So what orbiter are we going to use for Chandrayaan 3? It's going to be the same orbiter. So we are not sending an orbiter. That's an advantage which we already have. Our launch module will only consist of a landing module and a rover. So அப்படி இருக்கும்போது there is a higher chances of success. The payload is less, and we have made the software glitch rectified. We also have a stronger legs for the landers have been made, so that it will be landed safely, and we are expecting a safe landing.
Okay. Even connection it will land safely. Crash landing already happened.
That's what they are saying. Let's see. Actually, it will lose connection with the earth when it goes to the other part of the moon. That similar thing happened in Chandrayaan 2 also. It will lose, and it has to land automatically, but the software failed. Now also it will happen now also it will be like that, because when it goes to the other part of the moon, we will be completely lose the signal, and it has to do things by itself. There would be around a 20 minutes of gap where we will be completely disconnected with the lander. So we cannot call Chandrayaan 2 to be a complete failure, because it does have its own findings, as well as the orbiter is going to be, we are going to use the orbiter for the Chandrayaan 3 missions also. So it's not a complete failure. So this is what it is. Analysis committee said that. The analysis committee said that it is a software glitch that caused the failure. So the duration was around 14 days, but landing failed. All these data are important if you want to write a mains answer. It's simple. See, if you may ask me a question, sir, all these data are important, sir. Without data, can I write an answer? Definitely, you can write an answer. But if I'm writing an answer with the data, this someone else is writing an answer without data, to whom you will give more mark comparatively. So in order to get 1 or 1.5 marks and extra to get that particular edge, you need data in your hand. So that's what you have to take it from. You should not only think about prelims. So current affairs preparation is not only for prelims, it's also for mains. So when it comes to the matter of prelims, definitely they are not going to ask about this days and data, that and all. It's not even going to come. But these data are important to write the mains answers. If you mention it somewhere, if you have an opportunity to mention it somewhere, you are going to get an 1 mark extra. That's how we steal marks, and that's how we get the services. Because everybody who clears the prelims will be at a particular, they will be in a level playing field only. Everybody will be almost equal in their knowledge. How they're going to execute is going to differ. So the people in online, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask us. Don't take screenshots and save it for the future. That's not going to work out. Write it down, take a note. All the screenshots you are gonna delete when you don't have memory. அவ்வளவு மோசமாவா போயிட்டு இருக்கு. தலைவலி தேலாம தைச்சிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. முதல்றது தலைவலி. From the morning, this is my second class actually. Already I have taken a class. 2.5 hours is over. This is second class. Again, tomorrow morning I have class. Shall we go to the next slide? So these are the two findings which we have already got from the arbiter, because arbiter is not a failure. So one finding is that it detected argon 40 in the lunar exosphere. argon 40 lunar exosphere argon 40 it's a gas, it's an inert gas. It's been found in exosphere of the moon. Outer layer of the atmosphere of the moon. Moon has a very small atmosphere, thin atmosphere. And in school books, you will find that there is no atmosphere in moon, but it has a very thin layer of atmosphere. In the outer layer of the atmosphere, they have found argon 40. And also it gave us the photography of Sarabhai Carter crater.
Sir, Pallo.
Crater or பெரிய பள்ளம். Crater.
Sir, what is crater, sir?
Crater is a big hole, depression made in the celestial body. It's called as a crater. That could be because of many reasons. That could be because of an asteroid strike. That could be because of a volcanic eruption. That could be because of an earthquake, a major earthquake. Whatever it causing it, if there is a depression in the ground, it's called as a crater.
Okay, sir.
And if it is been filled by water, it's called as a crater lake. You will be finding it in என்னடா Lonar Lake. Inga? Maharashtra. There is a lake called as Lonar Lake in Maharashtra, which is been made by the asteroid strike, Carter Lake. The depression made by the asteroid strike and water is filled by rain. So because of which the lake have become, it have become a lake and it's called as Carter Lake. Crater Lake, sorry. Crater Lake. பேச முடியலையா என்னாலே தான் முடியல
இப்போ 1.5 மணி நேரம் வீட்டுக்கு போயிட்டு அப்புறம் அங்க உட்காந்து ராத்திரி 2 மணி வரைக்கும் உட்காந்து படிக்கணும் அது வேற இருக்கு
படுத்துட்டு படிங்க
இல்ல சார் நோட்ஸ் எடுக்கணும் இல்ல நான் வந்து யூடியூப்ல இருந்து படிக்கிறேன் நோட்ஸ் எடுக்கணும்னா அது லேப்டாப்ல இருந்து பார்த்து பண்ணா எப்படி படுத்து படிச்சுக்கிறேன்
So shall we go to the next? But Chandrayaan-3, now we are coming to the business. So India's third moon mission, lunar south pole போகுது. ஏன் south pole போகுது?
It is not exposed to sun.
That's a very good point. One point made. That is, the South Pole is a place where the sunlight never reaches. The sunlight never have hit from the origin of moon itself. From moon origin from the time of origin, the sunlight never reaches that particular point. So because of which it's somewhere around 250 degree, minus 250 degree Celsius of temperature is maintained there throughout its lifespan, throughout the lifespan of the moon, the temperature in that particular point is somewhere around 250 degrees Celsius minus. So what happens is all the raw elements will be frozen. The frozen elements would be in their raw form, which means they would have not gone through any kind of changes. It will be in a pristine state. So sun has the ability to change or make changes in an element. So now when the sunlight doesn't reaches a particular point, all the materials there which have been frozen for like millions of years will give us data about the origin of moon, which in turn will give us the data about which will give in turn the idea about the origin of earth itself. Also it will prove the theory of the moon which was once attached to the earth, which came out because of impact of some other celestial body. So this hypothesis can also be proved. So this is one point. So in the South Pole, all the components are in pristine state. It's been frozen for ever. So this is one point. And second point is that Chandrayaan-1 have given us the information that there is this water which is present in the South Pole of the moon, and we also, by making certain researches out there, we can reaffirm and confirm the presence of water in that particular area. So that's why we have chosen South Pole. And apart from this, we want us to be very unique, because all the exploration in the equator is almost already done. So we are going to explore a virgin part of the moon which is not yet explored. We are going to land there. That's the reason. So that's why we have chosen the South Pole. But in landing in equator is far more easier actually, because there would be all the sunlight. What's another issue if there is no sunlight? The solar panels will not work. The solar panels in the instrument cluster will not function. So that's also the power issue also is there. So landing a module on the equator is far more easier than landing it in the South Pole. We are not going to land it exactly on the South Pole also. That also you have to understand. We are going to land somewhere around 70 degrees of latitude. It's not 90, exactly not on the South Pole. It's going to be in the 70 degree latitude. Exact South Pole you will have no sunlight at all. We cannot operate our machineries. So we are going to land in the 70 degree latitude of the moon. நான் பேசுறது தான் புரியுதா? Is anything which I am speaking is understandable? Are you people getting the point what I am making? புரியுதா? எங்க ரெண்டு பேத்துக்குள்ள ஒருத்தங்க சாண்ட்விச் ஆயிருக்காங்க. உங்க பேர் என்னங்க? பூஜா, புரியுதுங்களா? நீங்க புதுசா வந்திருக்கீங்க. 2022 போன பழைய பேட்சா? உங்க பேர் என்ன? கிருஷ்ணவர்தன். 2022 பேட்ச்னா இந்த பேட்ச் தானே? வீக்கெண்டா? Is I making any sense? Are you people understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So these are the three models. The propulsion module, which will take the landers up to the 100 kilometers of lunar orbit. Propulsion module is a satellite kind of thing, which is going to take the lander and the rover nearer to the earth, nearer to the moon. From 100 kilometers, lander will take over. What lander would do is lander will go and land. Once the lander lands, lander have certain experimental payloads, and the rover will have certain experimental payloads. What are the payloads? We will discuss in the next slide. Each and every payload has to be discussed. So lander will do certain experiments, the rover will do certain experiments and send us data back through orbiter, which is already revolving.
அந்த 3 கிலோமீட்டர் வரைக்கும் அது ஸ்பேஸ் டெப்ரியா போயிடுமா?
போயிடுது. So the objective of the mission. The objective of mission is not to demonstrate safe and soft landing on the lunar surface, to demonstrate rover roving on the moons, and to conduct in situ scientific experiment. இந்த டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேட் பண்றதுனால நம்மளுக்கு என்ன அட்வான்டேஜ் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஃபியூச்சர்ல we will have opportunity to collaborate with bigger organizations like NASA and Japan's organization என்ன? JAXA. So JAXA கூட, so we have already actually signed a agreement to launch the next mission to moon with Japan already. So why do they come and sign an agreement like that with a country like India? Because we have proved our capacity already. We're getting the point. This is why it becomes important.
They were planning to